The Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975, entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Marybold School, Align Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, board members.
Ms. Davey?
Here.
Ms. Davey?
Here.
Ms. Davidson? Mr. Lego? Ms. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Warner?
Here.
Ms. Sams?
Here.
Ms. Spalding?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Director of Curriculum Instruction, Ms. Jade Yezzi, Principal, Bingham and Downing Schools, Mr. Steve Keeley, Principal, Volt School, Mr. Steve Maloney, Vice Principal, Volt School, Ms. Gladys Hubbard, Director of Special Education, and Mr. Frank Hines, Supervisor of Building and Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve our reorg minutes from January 7th.
I'll make a motion to approve the reorg minutes from January 7th.
Thank you, Maria. Motion made by Maria. Need a second? Second by Barbie. Any questions there? Roll call.
Ms. Davey?
Yes.
Ms. Davey?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Sams?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
No presentations or correspondence this time? No? Okay. At this time, does anybody in the public have any public comments or questions on the agenda items only? No? Okay. Then superintendent's report.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming tonight. I know it's cold, so we'll try to be my office has no heat down there, Karen. It's freezing all day.
Neither does mine. I'm literally,
Laughs.
he has heat. He has heat. I have to go out in the library
I'm
and
telling you, my hands are.
sit with the students.
District enrollment is still steady at 139 students, 3 out of district placements. As Dr. McCarron, you should explain the parts of his report tonight, budget planning program underway for next year. As Dr. McCarron likes to call it budget season. So we're in that right now. Numbers don't come out until next week. Next week you said for the government, right?
We should have them released by the 27th.
We're not gonna have any craziness
So,
like last year,
nothing
right?
craziness, no, we're not
I'm
going
being
to craziness. We did get some information this week. I'm sure Dr. McCarron's going to elaborate that, the percentages of what can be decreased if it is. But it does not mean we're going to have any scares as we did last year. Pre-K and kindergarten registration information is available. We're ready for that as well. Next month, we will present the 25-26 school calendar. We're just reading a few things on that. There will be a couple of different changes, but nothing major. We do have tonight, I did add today, updated school calendar. We are going to make the March 21st. We were supposed to have a PD day, a full day PD. We're going to make that a one session for students and then a half day PD for that. Because we don't want to push ourselves back to that fourth week in June coming up. We have more snow and like that. So that will be one for approval tonight. But we'll have next year's calendar and we'll have that for March's approval. Memorandum of agreement, which is one of those things we have to have signed every year. Mr. Peely, he volunteered to go with me this year on March 27th, along with the chief of police for that presentation. Have you signed that? No?
Well, did you, yeah, wait, I did, Sean, did you bring that to me?
It's a 5 copy.
No, that was
There's
QSAC.
only 5 copies.
Yeah, but there was 5 copies of QSAC
So
too.
we'll get that done.
Yep, no problem.
Have that signed off on. We are still gathering information for QSAC, which is May 6th. So we still have a couple months for that. And then everything else is, all things submitted for the county and the state have been properly submitted, which is good. Upcoming events, we do have the ROI basketball weekend. This weekend, we will have some staff members as well as some of our ringers from before and after care helping us out for the staff game this year, which should be good. I believe we're set to be 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock on Saturday.
1 o'clock on Saturday.
I promise you, I'll run a little behind.
That's okay. Look, we're good. And then we also have the PTA Founders Day dinner coming up at the end of March. I believe the invitation. Did everybody get an invitation? I haven't let me know. Other than that, congratulations to the boys basketball team. Unfortunately, they lost by 2 points, 1 point the other
They
day.
hit it three,
Hit it
lost
three,
by one.
Two.
Lost by two, right?
Lost by 2.
On Saturday, so great season for them. We're happy for them, so congratulations to the kids. Good accomplishment. I think there's a lot of kids in the gym there that play a lot of energy. So that's all I have for you tonight. If you have any questions?
Business administrator curriculum.
Okay, so for, under the BA report, something that we'll be getting approved tonight under finance is the June 30th, 2024 audit, which has been completed, submitted to the state. There were 0 audit findings for this year, so I do want to make sure that I commend all the staff across the district, school secretaries, everyone in the business office as well, Ruby Jewell, Frank Hines, everyone for their part that they play within that audit and for the fact that we are compliant with all areas. From the audit, and as you know this because we have this conversation each month, certain money gets distributed into capital reserves, maintenance reserves that we come out of the budget with. So the goal is that we come out of our school budget with money, so that way we can put money into capital reserves, which allows us to then bring the money. Don't get excited, we've already brought the money back into this year's budget, so we can do projects throughout the district and do upgrades and all that stuff, because that's how we have to function in that sense. Maintenance reserve is money that we are able to keep set aside. When we did have room issues years ago, maintenance reserves is the only account as a reserve account that we are able to take money out of in an emergency situation. So because we have that money set aside when an emergency arises, all the board has to do is do an emergency resolution, and we're able to ensure the fact that we're able to get the building and operations back up and running within the district. So you do have a summary sheet. You will see the last page, gives all the recommendation summary, which there are none in any of the areas. So we were very pleased with that. Budget preparation. As of right now, we are waiting. It's a waiting game. A lot of people are freaking out over budget numbers. My sense is there's nothing to freak out over until we actually get numbers in front of us, to actually look and see what we're doing with each of these things. We are being told in terms of federal funding, in the past I've always budgeted 15% less. So that's our Title I, our Title II, which is professional development, Title III, which is our multilingual learners, our Title IV overall program, our IDEA, which is our special education. We've always been told to budget 15% less. This year we are being told to budget 20 to 25% less. Those numbers do not come out until usually June. So we plan for a 15% to a 25% reduction, and then when the numbers come out, the goal is that we get flat funded in those areas. There are concerns with carryover money. We've often relied on carryover money from one year to the next, but that carryover money is never guaranteed. And one of the concerns is that as they're looking at different areas within budgets, that carryover money might not be provided or allowed, and they might just put it back in the large pot and not give it back to the individual districts. These are all unknowns, but these are all things that we're trying to plan for as we are going into this upcoming budget. One of the things that hit most recently was we do we put in for semi. And when we put in for semi, Runnemede gets a large amount back from semi, which is Special Education Medicaid Initiative. We get upwards of $200,000 in most situations. However, when the budget software came out, everyone was very upset because instead of being able to budget that amount in our budget, we were being told that we could only budget about 10 to 20% of that amount because it wasn't guaranteed funding and we shouldn't expect to get it. So that's a large chunk of money that we have been able to allocate in different ways. Now, once again, I'm not a doom and gloom person whatsoever, so I'm just making you aware that these are the conversations. None of these numbers are final until they are final. The budget is due March 20th to the County Office of Education. So at our next Board of Education meeting, there's 2 parts. You will be approving next month. By next month, I should have the entire budget put together, which is a little stressful as I'm saying this out loud to you right now. But that's submitted to the County Office of Education. They then review it in its entirety and tell me and give me a green light, at which point at the April meeting, you guys will be approving in the public hearing the budget. Ideally, there will not be any changes between the submission to the county office that you're giving your approval for next month, and the actual public hearing. And usually the conversation we have in March is the same conversation we're having in April. But should anything change, I always try to make sure that I keep everyone informed of that. I am being told we should not have the same issues we had last year. I think all of those numbers have been worked out, and we should be good in terms of funding formulas. Knock on wood. That's all I have for, I feel like that's enough. That's all I have for finance. Under curriculum, as Mr. Iannucci said, CUSAC is coming up, so it's ensuring the fact that we have everything aligned with CUSAC. That's a compliance factor. They're making sure that all of our reports have been submitted, that we have all the things that are required by the state in place that we are required to have. We are in the middle of also preparing for access testing, which is for our multilingual learners. All testing materials just came in for that. DLM testing, which is our special education students who are unable to take the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment. And then we are also preparing for the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment, which will be coming up, and those dates are on the calendar. We will be doing that where students will be tested by their classroom teachers, which we've done now for the past 2 years. So we'll be continuing with that. That's all I have. Any questions?
Anyone have anything for Dr. McCarron? Please extend our gratitude to everyone in your office too for this financial
Yeah,
audit.
it's values.
You know, not one finding in the entire district, for the
It's
entire year, you
values.
and your staff need
For the district.
a round of applause as well. So please send our applause over to the office, to everyone there as well, please. Thank you. All right, then, district reports were attached. Anybody have any questions? Everyone able to find them? You guys were good with seeing them? Okay, great. Any questions on any of them? No? Okay. PTA, I don't know, is anyone here from the PTA? I don't know, they have the Founders Day coming up, right? And then a bunch of stuff I see all the time, yeah.
Next week.
Yeah, then I saw something also at Name Your Sport, like a father-son, so, I don't know if you don't follow them on Facebook, they always are up to date and awesome with that. As far as board committees, it's been slow. Anyone have anything to add there? Dr. McCarron put a list of all things coming up that he can register you for, so take a look at them. They're not mandatory at all, but if you see something that interests you or that you would like to take part of and you can work it into your schedule, then feel free to let him know.
And the sign sheet's right here, so you just check off whatever you want to go to.
Right, is there anything else on there that's not on here? Okay, so take a look at those dates as well as we go through for our new business, okay? Any other questions or anything for anyone? Okay. So under property and transportation, I need a motion to approve items numbers 1 and 2.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Angel. Did you say second?
I would.
Oh, thank you, Barbie. Seconded by Barbie. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under personnel, I need a motion for items 1 through 7.
Make a motion to pass items 1 through 7.
Motion made by Lindsay,
Second.
and a second by Lisa. Okay, I got it, thanks, guys. Any questions there? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under finance, we have added number 9 there, but so it's items numbers 1 through 9.
I'll make that motion for items 1 through 9.
Motion made by Angel,
I'll second.
second by Barbie. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under curriculum, we have items 1 through 17.
I'll make a motion for items 1 through 7.
Thank you, Maria.
I'll second.
Second by Lisa. Any questions there? Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warner?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yep. Okay. Policy and public relations, I need a motion for items 1 through 7. 7 is the updated calendar added.
I'll make a motion motion for items 1 through 7.
Motion made by Maria,
I'll second.
seconded by Lindsay.
The only thing I want to add is on number 4, you're approving gift cards totaling $6,050. The board originally approved the acceptance of that for $3,050, but they've provided an additional amount, so that's why,
Yes.
that's a revised amount from the
Okay.
original total.
Thank you. Roll call.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davy?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Warren?
Yes.
Ms. Sims?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mr. Iucci wants to talk about his 10 seconds of fame.
Not me, that was Mr. Mayor, it's much better. Just want to acknowledge
You were on
votes.
the news,
What's that?
you were on the news.
I know, it's a Facebook. I want to acknowledge Volts for the job they did for not only being recognized as the Canyon County School of Character, that was back in January of that. It was quick. If you blinked, you may have missed it.
Were you on there too? I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't see
You
it.
look like inmate 640.
Okay.
So they did a good job. But then
Congratulations.
Later on in the month, it was also recognized as a state school of character. I know for the county, there were 75 schools that submitted, 8 were picked. The state was,
They didn't give us a number.
Well, I think we broke it down. I think we were 1 out of 22 schools in the whole state of New Jersey.
yeah, was recognized. So,
That's amazing. Yes.
good job with that. You know, there's a lot of work behind the scenes. Administrators, teachers, counselors, and students, obviously. Great job, so say thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Congratulations. Any questions on any items? Any questions at this time? All right, there is no need for executive session. So good at that.
Check it off.
Our next we're still, March 19th, that's the correct date? Okay. March 19th is our next meeting date here, 6:30. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Maria,
I'll second.
seconded by Barbie. All in favor? Ayes have it.